Alrighty hosses, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a navigation bar. And a navigation bar is that main menu bar at the top of the screen that is, essentially the main navigation for your entire website. And as you notice, I took out that container class because up to now that container class has been the main parent element, but what we're going to do whenever we make a navigation bar is actually stick it inside a nav class. So it's kind of different, but I'll show you guys how it works. So in order to make it, make a nav tag, and the class for this is Navbar default. So this first one just says that we're making a navigation bar, and the second one is the styling of it, in other words the color, but I'll show you guys how you can style it or give it a different color in just a second. Now inside here, again, like I said, this is where we're going to be putting our container, and I'm going to make a fluid container because I want this navigation bar to take up the entire width of the screen, and that's kind of standard for navigation bars. Usually you don't want them, just centered in the screen with a bunch of space to the left or right. So the class equals container fluid. Alright. Now before you start adding the actual menu item buttons, what a lot of people like to do is they like to add their logo at the top left just to, I don't know, kind of help brand the website. So I'll just add a little comment, might be a little bit easier to read. And if you decide to do this, the div class is Navbar header, and that just lets Bootstrap know that this isn't an actual button for the menu that they're going to be clicking a lot. This is essentially just the logo, and you can actually, let me just add a dead link. So you could link it to like the home page or something, but I'm just gonna have a dead link for right now. And the class for this is Navbar brand, and I would just say I don't know, the New Boston, all in caps. So again, this lets Bootstrap know that it's not part of the main, it's not like a regular generic menu item, it's something special, the header. And this right here gives it the styling. So the styling is going to make it stand out. It gives it like a little bold, and I think it changes the color slightly. So there you go. This is an optional logo. So now we can start adding the actual menu item buttons. So let me copy this. Menu items, and these are going to be your individual pages or different sections of the website. Now we're going to stick these inside a div, and inside this div we're going to have an unordered list. Now of course we're going to be putting all of our list items in here, but before we get to that, the class of the unordered list is navbar nav. There's a lot of redundant naming conventions in Bootstrap. That's one thing I don't like, but what am I going to do about it? Nothing, so I'm just shut up. Alright, so inside here, of course, we need list items. And you know how sometimes when you click a menu item and the page you're on, it stays like highlighted, and that's just a little indicator of, okay, this is the current page that you have selected. If you ever want to achieve that effect, then you change the class to active. And again, this is just going to highlight the button that says, okay, this is the page you're on, and I don't know, it's just a little bit more clear for the user. Now, inside here, you're going to want to link to some page, whatever it is. I'll let you worry about that. And see, freaking autocorrect. So this is a generic one, and let me add a couple more just so it doesn't look too lonely. Now of course these two you don't want to be active. You only want to have one item active at a time, and that's because the user can't be on multiple different pages at a time. So I'll say that this one is about and this one is contact. Alright, so do I got anything wrong? Hopefully not. Let's run it and see how it looks. So this right here, this is what I was talking about, the logo, which is technically called the Navbar header. And since we applied that class Navbar brand, that's why you see it's kind of bold and the text is a little bit different than this. And also, whenever I said that this first menu item was active, that's why we got that highlighting and you know, it's so of course this would mean that I'm on the home page, and it's just a little indicator for the user. It makes it, you know, easier to understand. Now if I shrink these, check out what happens. So since this is responsive, instead of just cutting off the menu items, they actually collapse, so you never lose any of your items. Now I'm going to be showing you guys in a second. Let's say that you had like 7 different items. Well, whenever you collapsed it and are looking at it on a phone, that means that most of your screen would just be a menu bar and you have to scroll way down for the content. So I'm going to show you guys how to add a button really easily, and then you can click it and it can toggle this menu visible and invisible, or hidden and not hidden, displayed, not displayed, whatever you want to call it.